Julia. We're back in person again. It's really exciting. Welcome, guys, to Matilda and Julia's Greatest Knits. We are two friends who knit together in Amsterdam, and we're thrilled to be joining you in person today rather than via Zoom. We're both got our booster vaccinations and we're ready to party. Yeah. Well, very sedately, at least.
Yeah. Knitting party level.
Indeed. Thank you for joining us. And on today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the projects that we've been working on. Some fantasy projects that we might be knitting if only we had the time or inclination. Our current sources of inspiration. And then we're going to talk about our favourite 3, which we'll reveal later in the show. So stick with us.
Yeah, Matilda, what have you been working on? Tell us.
Well, I have a project which is developing quite nicely, which is a baby. I'm pregnant at the moment, which is yeah, very, 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 very exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah. So that's my number 1 work in progress.
Yeah.
But of course, with a baby comes the opportunity to knit lots and lots of baby things, which is really cool and great for a slow knitter like me because they're nice and small. And so I have, in the last month, whipped out a little jumper for baby. Super cute. Or it's the Flax sweater from Tin Can Knits. And
it's a free pattern.
It is a free pattern. Super simple. Great for beginners. It's just knitting in the round and increasing a bit of garter stitch. That's about it.
But you picked a really nice yarn.
Well, I used a 2 strands of fingering weight held together, which kind of equals a DK worsted gauge. And I just went with all of the grey leftover balls in my stash, so bits and bobs left over from other projects. So there's some hand spun in there and some fancy stuff like Garn Stories and even some hedgehog, I think, and then some less fancy things. So it's really been a nice way to use up lots of scraps. And at the moment I don't know the sex of the baby, and I don't know if I want to until it's born, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to keep it a bit neutral or bright poppy colours.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going to focus on for baby projects to start with.
It's it can go either way.
Yeah,
not that I'm very particularly focused on colours and gender.
No.
Anyway, but
I think
we see a lot of pink on Min nowadays.
I think so
really
too.
Like.
Yeah. Especially that sort of, earthy pinks.
Yeah.
The only modification I made was to split the ribbing at the neckline. I don't know if you can see that. Just because I've been informed that newborn heads are very, very big, which kind of makes me nervous for myself, but that's okay. We'll get there.
Don't think about it.
No. I've got months ahead of me to live in bliss.
Yeah, live in bliss and knit and focus on
other things.
Exactly.
But yeah, just a split at the collar so that it can slide over, and then I'll put a little button there. I just cast off last night, so it's still to be blocked. But
very cute.
Very
really, really nice.
Thanks.
I like the kind of like grown-up vibe.
Yeah.
Look.
Very.
Yeah. Good.
I think I have one that matches quite well with it already.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a bit of twinning action.
Yeah.
Kind of going on. How about you, Julia? What have you been working on? You've been busy.
Yes, I have. Some of the stuff I can't talk about yet.
I always love these secrets.
Yes, well, it's a bit annoying because I'm not a good keeper of secrets.
Me neither.
No,
it's really hard to keep the pregnancy under wraps, I have to say.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
But not, the secrets that I have to keep are not horrible or very difficult. It's just, I can't talk about it then. Okay, so I made, last time I talked about the Sugar Shawl that I was finishing. And I made a second sample.
Oof. I love this color combination.
Yeah, I wanted to tone this one down because the other one is like bright red orange with turquoise. I used the same background, which is like an off-white towards grey. And then this is goldenrod, and this is Amagove. And this is also Helix and Felix from La Bien Aimee, because she's kindly sponsoring this. And yeah,
gorgeous.
I didn't know when I was talking with Aimee once. I don't know if I told this before. I said like, oh yeah, and I really love that blue. It's Amage.
Oh yeah,
it's not Amage.
No,
because it's a combination of friends of hers. I think names.
Okay,
it's Megan.
Okay,
just a Megan.
I would have
probably Emily and Megan or something.
Yeah.
But I thought I'm being very French. It's
yeah.
Amage.
No,
it's not. Okay. Okay. Staying with La Bien Aimee, I have treated myself to a Christmas present.
What a joy!
And scored some of that gorgeous recycling yarn.
The confetti.
The confetti in the grey. And then I started to make a Hella sweater with it. I was tempted to do... Yeah, that's so nice. I was tempted to do something new with it. But then I decided... this yarn is kind of like this is a kind of yarn that you want to work, you know, it does the job by itself because it's so special.
Yeah.
And you want the little speckles to come out.
Yeah.
So anything I tried with a different color or the very dominant stitch was taking away the effect that the yarn had.
You've got to let it shine.
And then I decided I already have the pattern for it. And I'm really happy that I had the self-discipline once in a life to just do something again. And yeah, I did this.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Yeah, those are my, this is what I've been working on.
Glorious.
And I've got at the moment, I've got 3 tests that's going on. It's incredible.
Julia.
Yeah, I know.
So it's a lot of administration as well as
your
own knitting.
Yeah, but I really like that as well. I like working in Excel. I like the layout work. I like communicating with the tech editor. I have a really great tech editor, and yeah, and especially the knitters, so much fun because once that starts, you can see all these different versions coming up. Yeah, and yeah, it's a nice phase. Talking about things we focus on, we have our favorite feed.
Yeah.
Our inspiration.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Well, sort of staying with the theme of kids coming into my life, I've been really inspired by the French magazine Milk magazine, which is sort of like a lifestyle, fashion-y kind of, but mainly focusing on sort of family, and they do amazing kids clothes. It's really what's been I've been getting my inspiration from.
Yeah, I think they also have a print magazine.
They do, yeah, and it's really beautiful. I don't know how easy it is to get a hold of outside of Europe. I didn't know it before I moved here, but if you can find a copy, I really, really recommend picking it up because just flicking through those pages, gorgeous.
Yeah,
and
it's kids fashion next level.
Yeah, giving me all sorts of...
I want to wear these stuff.
Me too. These trendy children.
Yeah.
Oof, so good.
More trendy than I am.
Me too. How about you, lovely?
I am still in Intarsia, in love with Intarsia.
Yeah.
And there's an African woman from Nairobi who makes really great Intarsia sweaters and cardigans. She's called Amagove Mugere. She's also on that website BIPOC in Fiber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And she makes really great bright colored cardigans and sweaters, oversized sweaters with graphic intarsia. She's apparently she's a technical engineer.
Oh, cool.
And
we love a woman in STEM.
Definitely, and she's a mathematician, so I can imagine that intarsia comes easily to her. Well, because you have to think about the way she puts it together. She thinks about construction, and it's kind of like a bit of a patchwork thing. Yeah. So she's I've been following for a while and really like the stuff she's making.
Fantastic. Oh, right. Well, we're rocketing along. What would you be knitting, Julia, if only you had the time or the inclination? What's your fantasy project this time?
The project that I would be doing now is not a knitting project.
Oh, okay.
But it's a crafty project, and it's a something I saw coming by, but it's by Hey Mama Wolf Yarn. She's a German hand dyer and I think also ceramist, and she does beautiful projects that I see coming by on Instagram. I can only highly recommend her account. And the other day she was making bubble bath bombs, or balls if you want to call them, and they looked so nice already. With eteric oils, and in a really nice shape that she put them in. Okay, sounds like a great thing. Yeah, have a nice bath in the winter time to give away to people.
So delicious. Yeah. I don't have a bathtub, so I can only drink. This is very fantasy level for me.
Next level fantasy. Well, the only person who uses the bath in our house is our son. I think he would be a bit scared of bath bubbles.
Too sensory overload.
Yeah. But I would be using them. Yeah. How about you? What's your project?
Well, also sort of wintry related. We have at Stephen and Penelope a couple of wonderful books by a Swedish knitter, Anna Bergman, who goes by Tant Wolters. And she has written a book about socks, colourwork socks, and a book about colourwork mittens. And even though I've just finished a pair of colourwork mittens, I don't think you can ever have too many.
No, definitely not.
So one of her colourwork mitten patterns is my fantasy project for this time, and it's the Dotty mittens. They're really graphic, bright colours. I mean, you can choose any colours, but she's used sort of bright, contrasting green and blue, and really graphic, simple design, but really effective. So nice warm hands for the winter is what I'm fantasizing about.
Yeah, that's a nice project. Yeah. And like little artworks.
So beautiful. Yeah, they're fun. Beautiful. Lots of fun. Well, so that brings us to our favourite three. And we're sort of sticking with a little wintry theme for our January podcast because the skies are grey and
indeed,
it's perfect knitting season, really. But Julia, what we're looking at is our 3 winter knitting essentials to sort of create the atmosphere, if you will. Would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so to create the perfect knitting setting, first thing I need is the perfect position to knit. Oh. Which needs to be something that I'm actually lying, but I can't be lying because you can't knit lying down flat.
It's tricky. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a heavily propped, reclined position.
Yeah.
In the chair that you can't see. It's over here. So I'm like, it's a bit backwards. Then I'm taking 2 meditation cushions underneath my elbows.
Yes.
Because we learned that from our first, if you want to watch, our first episode is about the ergonomics of knitting. So I've got that. I've got my legs up. Okay, so that's the position.
Yeah.
The second thing is the perfect project.
Essential.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like easy, but it needs to be something that I'm working on, like on kind of like automatic pilot level, not like constantly checking like how many stitches to increase in that row and cable stuff and lace. Like, no. Because you just wanna, you wanna have that rhythmic movement. Yeah, it's going all smoothly. Yeah. So I usually have like 2, preferably 3 projects. Okay. One's in the development thinking phase. One is in production, which would be something I would be doing then. Yeah. And I'm also not knitting production during the day. Okay. No, because then you've got other things to do. No, yeah, that sounds like waste of time. But in the evening, it makes time more quality. You give a certain quality to time. It's a bit of absurd, but that's how it is. I love it. So then the third project is like maybe something that's still in swatching mode. And then the third thing is the perfect snack, obviously. I mean, it's very important. Yeah, it is. And at the moment, that's, I think actually I got it from you, a recipe for crackers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like these really thin crackers that I make myself with lots of seeds. Any kinds of seeds, actually, you can put in there. They're super easy and fast to make. Yep. They're super yummy. I put some fish paste on them, like garam masala. Lovely. Yes, I know. Delicious. Or some cheese. You can also just eat them like this. Yeah, I eat them naked or with a hard-boiled egg and some cucumber for breakfast a lot of the time. I feel very Nordic. With my hard-boiled egg and cucumber knäckebröd. Yeah. Oh, lekker. So we're gonna share that. We're going to share the recipe with you because we probably tempted you to make them yourselves. These are my favorite 3, or the essential 3 for the perfect knitting evening or day. Yeah. What's yours? Well, for me, number 1 is some really nice hand cream. I get very dry hands in the winter, and I don't like that. So my favourite at the moment is an Aesop hand cream, which is actually an Australian brand, but is it? I didn't know. Yeah, they started in Melbourne, but available all over the world. Which scent? Because they have these scents. Yeah, my favourite is the pink tube, which I think is a grapefruit and bergamot, or bergamot and something. Anyway, it's beautiful. I actually cannot function for more than a half hour without a cup of tea. And now that I am pregnant, I have had to switch, well, not had to, but I've chosen to switch to decaf. So I have a decaf Earl Grey at the moment, is pretty high on my rotation list. Lekker. Yeah. And I, in the wintertime, listen to a lot more instrumental music or just music without lyrics. And so, yeah, some nice background, something chill, but a little bit energetic, nothing too crazy. Keeps me going. That's what I like. That sounds like a lovely knitting atmosphere. Yeah. And I think much like we did in the summertime, and when we put together our summer knitting playlist, we were thinking about doing another one, a winter knitting playlist. So we'll also link to that. We'll update it with some nice instrumental music. Yeah. And share it with you. Yeah. And we'll have that available as a Spotify playlist and also an Apple Music playlist, so you can get it in whatever fashion suits you. Yeah. But I think that is, my recipe for perfect winter knitting times. I think we can merge these two things. Yeah, I could easily be complementary. Yeah. I do. I'll have your tea with my crackers and the music with my reclined knitting position. I think I'll be in heaven. Luscious. Yeah. And we all hope that you can you can have a really nice knitting time as well. Yes. Enjoy the moment and relax. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. We're getting more and more comments. We really love that, and we love the idea that not only talking to each other, but also talking and sharing
with you guys.
our ideas with you. So if you like us, give us a thumbs or share us with your friends, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.